How we doing,
All
folks?
right, office hours has begun. Today we're taking questions from the text chat in Ask DCO, and we're answering in voice in the voice chat Ask DCO. Blazing Evacuation has asked, why is there a place to put an emblem on the new green arrow gear, and can you add a place? Not all gear has an emblem slot. It's really just a design decision, an artist decision. And that one didn't have a place that looked appropriate, so it doesn't have one. We do not plan to change it as far as adding a place, but you can use that emblem on lots of other pieces of gear. Black Dawn asked, how long will the OP crafted items be OP? So I believe most of those will get replaced by other OP items in the next DLC in the episode, but most of them at the very end. So you have some time, but not an infinite amount of time. For more detail, I would have to go to the systems team and get an actual specific. Black Dawn also asks, will the next OP items be dropped? I don't think we have plans to change the delivery mechanism right now. So right now we're kind of going with the recipes and the currency. But we are open to feedback on that. Let us know your. The LQ DCO wants to know any plans to add more base items in the future, which feature the emblem you have in your base. There's only a few of them. Oh, yep. I'm going to mark that as a suggestion from you. All right. Sorry, I had to get my thing up here. It's a great suggestion. And Black Dawn says you like crafting. You like crafting the OP items, I guess. Cool. Black Dawn says, can we get some of those cool bird scrolls pictures for our bases? I don't know what you're talking about. Is that a base item? Oh, I see what you mean. I'll note it as a suggestion. Don't be scared. Ask your questions. You guys are all shocked they got started on time today. Is that it? Reagan asks, are any OP items tradable? No, they are not. Blazing Evacuation asks, what is your favorite new piece of content from the Star event? I gotta say the raid in the new underwater environment. What do you think? Jupiter Tonans has asked, how about login progress reward system to encourage people to log in every day or multiple days? Love it. Writing it down. So here's an update from systems. OP items are supposed to last all the way through the next DLC. And it's slightly different on live versus stats matter, but that's roughly how long you're going to have it. Legendary Prime says, any plans to remove bytes from time capsules? No plans right now, but I'm going to note that suggestion. It's obviously one we've seen before. It's good to note it again, though. Proxy Star asks, any update on when we might get the dual-wield Scarecrow cleavers? Nope, but I can tell you the suggestion has been passed along. Carlin Carnage says, I love mind-controlled part of the 8-man. Yep, mind control's pretty cool. I think that is nearly unanimous, people liking mind control, so that's great. LQDCO says, any plans to add statue-based items of your character, kind of similar in design to how you really call statue, but for your base? No plans right now, and I think I've noted that suggestion from you. It's a cool idea. Whiskey Saint says, love the Ambush Bug base buddy. He makes a perfect bartender in my base. Nice. Will there be any similar iconic base buddies in? Well, I guess that goes a little bit towards how well he is received, but we think it's cool. If you think it's cool, probably going to be more. Reminder, the April Fool's event ends this Sunday. It runs through this Sunday, ends after this Sunday. So partake in the greatest collection ever this weekend if you have not already. Black Dawn has asked for style-only armory saves. I mean, you can just save your style in your armory. I guess it's not true if you're using multiple builds. Never mind. We've also talked about having like style-only armories, which is probably what you're more referring to. I'll note that down again. Reagan asks when SM is ending. It was supposed to turn off today. It will turn off tomorrow with restart. Bumbling Bee says, is there a reason why time capsules have to continue to have feat points attached? And there isn't a specific reason, except that time capsules are working very well, and we don't want to mess with the formula without a clear path. A lot of risk there in just changing things willy-nilly. And Black Dawn wants more than 4 armories. I definitely hear that. Blazing Evacuation has asked for a Kryptonian's time capsule. I'm going to note that. Carlin Carnage, like a new small kind of base that would hold all armory. It's kind of a cool idea. Just armories. Different room, like zone out of your base into an armory room. I love it. It's a very cool idea. Proxy Star says, any bunny ears for Easter? I don't think so. Cool idea. Conchit wants the ability to remove unwanted base items from your base after the base items are collected. Like remove them from your base list. Do you want to be able to take them physically back out and like hand them to somebody else, or do you want to just be able to delete them off your list? Jeffin would like 8 selectable armories at one time. Good suggestion. Gonna note it. Jelly asked, any plans to have Easter egg search in the game? No. That high on people's lists, an Easter egg search. You want to take them off the list entirely? Got it. I've noted that. We've heard that suggestion in similar sessions before. And Whiskey Saint agrees. That's cool. So how many of you have played the Star event, and what are your thoughts? Give me some likes, dislikes, emoticons on my Starro. Proxy Star says, do you think developers would ever sell in-game cash? Probably not. Jelly says, member raid needs damage reduction, but mechanics are fine. As in it's too hard? You think it's Black Raid's, or Black Dawn says the hard raid is fun and everything else is easy, which is Blazing Evacuation says it's fun, was an awesome feeling beating the hard raid for the first time. Cool. Proxy Star objects to random one-shots. Just makes sense. Much improved once we get the stats to ramp out. Ray gun, is that good or bad in your mind? Got it. Cool. Blazing Evacuation wants to say, is there a chance to play Star event on test to give us a feel of what events will be like? You know, that is a very interesting idea / question. Jareth asks, when do you think Fire missions with the revamp? Not this week. This week's over. I don't think we've moved on to actually doing the actual work on those powers yet. I think we've been focused on the 3 that are on test right now, so probably not next week either. But not too long. We'll see if we can get a better update on that. LQ says, I like the event raid, mixed feelings about mind control. Good as it's refreshing and original, bad as some players attack you deliberately when you're mind controlled. Yeah, I guess that can happen. Proxy Star would like to have more things tradable from the event. And there's inconsistencies. Let me follow up on. Jelly wants more tankability, tanks to be more important. Okay. I think we definitely want that too. That's how we get it done. Whiskey Saint says attacking Trexlight is fine. That's allowed. That's mean, but sure. Parker says you could trade the 100 mark collection from St. Patrick's Day. I'll follow up on collections to see what's kind of intended, or if there is rhyme to the reason. Method to the madness. LQDCO says, is it likely that all powers will be on test for the stats event before episode 28? Or too early to say. I would expect them all to be there before 28 hits test. Reagan, I do not have an update on water not rendering the cave base. Conscient is waiting for munitions this Stats Cool, we are too. And likes the new April Fool base item, Ambush Bug. I love it. Ambush Bug is great. Yep. I'm glad people have found that. We were a little worried. April Fools, we'll miss it. Timeline Last asks, how far along are trolls in Stats Matter? Is this anywhere near the finished product? Well, it's near the finished product. I mean, we've done a lot of work on trollers, but we do expect to have a pretty significant polish and refinement phase once all of the power sets are on test, so they can make big picture adjustments as needed. If you have feedback, make sure you're putting it in the appropriate test threads when they become available. Jacob the Rebel says, older content that I used to enjoy is becoming a bore for me. Is there any chance we can all start running old content but make it somewhat challenging again? As in, it's boring because it's so easy and you're so much more powerful in it? For one, should be a little better in the stats revamp. For two, it sounds like you're asking for stat clamping. And that's an interesting suggestion. Jelly says, is there going to be a spring seasonal pet base item? Yes. Leaks right here. Yeah. I should say there's intended to be. We're still working on it. Maps, will there be more outside world content in the next episode or the same amount as AF3? We're looking at, but that's still up in the air to be determined. LQ asked if Aquaman's voice actor was recast. Yes, it was for the more recent content. Jelly says, with the stats revamp, will there still be enemy damage that's based on a health amount, as in percentage-based? Percentage-based. We're not necessarily going back and changing all of the attacks that exist, but generally speaking, we're not using percentage-based. And we will adjust those where they are problematic. The exception to that is when we really have a planned one shot with a tell where you're supposed to get out of the giant fire field so you don't die to the giant fire field. Those would continue to probably be Proxystar says, any chance ever of more Mark Hamill? I know he's busy and expensive, but would you if you could? I mean, if it were up to me, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But he's expensive. People would really have to buy a lot of time capsules. Jacob, yeah, totally understand what you're saying. It's something we talk about kind of a lot. LQ asks, who is the new voice actor for Aquaman? I have no idea off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Jareth says, will you do more commercials, videos for content releases? Well, we try to do trailers for all the major content releases, but the one for Starro was quite different. Did you like that? Did you think it was entertaining and fun? Or would you have preferred to see the more straightforward, here's the event, here's the in-game combat and whatnot? Uche asks, will there be a weapon set that uses both sword and shield? Not planned right now, but definitely, I think if we did a new weapon, that's top of the list. One of the top for sure. We see that request a lot. Whiskey Saint says, speaking of Batman content, will there ever be a follow-up to the Arkham Asylum 4-man story, or was there a follow-up and I'm missing? I don't have any storylines to announce right now, but we definitely want to do Batman content, and it's definitely possible we continue any of the storylines there. Proxy Star says, do you think you'll get more stuff associated directly with the WB movies, or is there too many copyright complexities, etc.? It is pretty messy, so we're looking to do more stuff inspired by the movies as opposed to directly, here is the movie version. Jelly says, not a scoreboard critic, but any way to include damage mitigated that shields do. The gray numbers count too. Great suggestion. Yeah, I think that would be an improvement. I feel like we've talked about that several times in the past. I don't recall where we landed there. Probably just if it's possible, how is it possible? Black Dawn, love the new video. Jareth, love the new video. Okay, cool. Well, that was all our brand manager really taking it to the next. He's awesome. Black Dawn says, any way to get dual mini crossbows, I'll have a Huntress solo as a dual wield style. As a dual wield style? Like you're smashing people with your crossbows? Uche wants to know, can we get a power similar to the Superman family? Good suggestion. Blazing Evacuation likes the crossbow styles. Cool. LQ says, any plans for more hairstyles in the future, more Amazon hairstyles, etc.? Not immediately, but yes, generally. Nothing I can announce or share right now. Jacob the Rebel says, will we ever see any other Bombshell-inspired sets in the future? We currently only have Harley Quinn's suit. It'd be great if we had other suits inspired by other DC Bombshells. The tough part about that is converting it to work with both male and female, so that's most useful for as many players as possible. We don't have plans right now, but we love Bombshells. You love Bombshells, so it's definitely possible. Connor Strafe is asking about Xbox Play Anywhere, and I don't have any information on that right now. I will see if I can find anything out. Proxy Star asks, is there any ETA or ideas surrounding expanding cross-faction styles? Nothing I can share right now. Black Dawn meant pistols. That makes more sense. Jacob Durable says, will we see more mechanics like the mind control and store event. I love backstabbing my allies. I think we're definitely going to try to use mind control in different places and do some cool things with it. And yeah, I think we've seen the success there. It really made the content pop for people. So we want to do similar things. Pricey Star says, would it not be possible to release female-only style packs, much like the hair packs? Yes, it would be possible, but it takes about the same amount of time to make a female-only versus making male. So it's pretty inefficient use of resources. Jareth is asking about special weekends coming up. I don't have any special weekends to announce, but you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled so that you don't miss it. Just saying. Timeline says, when will Fire be on test? And I do not have the timeline for Fire being on test. Next couple of weeks. Conscience says, any plans on reducing the amount of Legends PvE farming feats? We do not plan to touch those feats right now. We will continue to monitor feedback on that, but general consensus seemed pretty mixed on whether or not it was good or fair or bad or not fair, and we're not going to touch it. Jacob the Rebel says, any chances we can see more tail styles in game? We currently only have the demon tail. And it's very sure. What other tails would you like to see? Reagan asks, what about a marketplace sale anytime soon? Again, we're not going to pre-announce those kind of sales. You just got to keep your eyes open for when they. I'm writing down tail suggestions. Jareth also wants more demonic evil styles. Why is that, Jareth? Are you evil? Jelly says, will summer seasonal have a water balloon like a clover bomb, etc.? I'd love to throw those at heroes. Sounds good. I don't have any idea, but that's a good suggestion. Oh, foxtail. Would it be possible to have Legends PvE not be loot locked like PvP? People might run it more to get. Interesting. That's an interesting suggestion. Blazing evacuation with like a league hall inside a volcano. That would be cool. Jupiter Tonin says, I would spend replay badges if I could unlock progress points on alerts, raids, survival mode for my other characters if I already have done it on my main in that day or week. Is it possible to add a feature that would allow this? Okay, so progress point unlock with replay badges. I've noted it. I have no idea how possible that would be or what the effects might be, but it's an interesting concept. What's with all the rabbit? Oh, I guess it's Easter. Everybody's got rabbits on their minds. Is that what's going on? Now I want some chocolate. Bite the ears off a bunny. Proxy. Good good tip. Good color tip. See what I did there? Uche says, can we get some wind powers? I mean, we're not announcing new powers right now, but I will note that as a suggestion. Soul asks, is PvP going to be addressed before the end of 2017? I don't have anything to share or announce there. We're definitely not touching it, before we get through the stats revamp, and probably before we get through water powers as well. Connor Strafe says, is it possible to add active time events that appear around Metro Gotham? Involves boss battles within the active area for all players. Okay, yeah, public event quest type thing. It's a cool idea. Do you think that would add some spice to open world? Let us know. Timeline says, can we have it so once we go beyond relevance for old content, we can always have the progress point? Another interesting idea. Let me note it. LQ says, any chance of an Easter season in the future? Probably not. That's a, directly religious holiday we'll probably just kind of stay a little bit away from. Jeff wants shadow or darkness powers. Give me characters you're envisioning. Like, who's that inspired by? Like a Zatanna power, or you mean something else? Content wants to know, can we have different SM maps and bosses, like, for example, Darkseid's War Factory? Just in the future, different survival modes. Definitely something we kind of want to do. Nothing to share or announce right now, though. Jacob the Rebel asks, are we ever going to see the Joker return in future content? I believe we've seen him since D3. We definitely want to see the Joker return. Like we were kind of talking about earlier, it's a little bit tough to do it without voice acting, and it's also a little tough to do it with voice acting. So we're kind of in a bit of a spot there, but we're going to figure it out. Proxy Star says, the servers get unstable after game updates. I notice it's been pretty bad the last 12 months. It's just stability issues with the server. Every single one's probably different. If you're noticing something that routine, I don't know, I just like to hear details. It's really not tracking any major issues right now. Sally Coco, there is a chance of getting rabbit skin, but we did not make one for this year's spring event. Uche with like jet boots, rocket shoes, or mini rockets as a flight variation as inspired by heroes like Steel. It's a cool idea. I'm going to note it. Proxy Star says, any chance of Zatanna as a PvE Legends character? Always a chance. We don't have plans for more Legends characters right now. Fitz says, any chance of inserting characters from the Blackhawks team in the Bombshell 1944 content? Would love to get the old Blackhawks uniform, including Lady. Lady Blackhawk is awesome. And we do have some World War II inspired content coming up. Interesting. Jacob the Rebel asks, any chance we can have base wallpaper like I've suggested on the forums? Would really help giving our base a more unique look. I think you mean being able to change the wall texture. in some way. We looked into that a bit. We also looked into floor. It's pretty complicated. No plan. It is a really cool idea, though. I have to give you that. Uche says, any chance of the new heroes and villains entering into the CW's DC universe or the Injustice universe? Probably not, just because we're going to go more our own route like we always have. But taking inspiration from the CW for sure. Look at the Time Capsule as direct inspiration. And Injustice is a different game, so no. LQ, yeah, a sky paint would be cool as well. Oh, you mean just like a little bit of the sky? Oh, okay, interesting. Let me note that. Jarrett says, will we see any more Rip Hunter anytime soon? I'm just gonna have to wait and see on new content, new storylines. Proxy Star asks, any chance in the future to change mentors, like for example, Magic could have Zatanna, Donna Troy, etc.? I mean, you tell me, what do you think that would consist of? Because right now your mentor doesn't do a whole lot in the game. Basically just directs you on quest lines as you're leveling. What would you like them to see, or why would that be meaningful for you? Jacob the Rebel suggests a random idea, monstrous Monday at a random time Monday, a boss type MC gets spawned in the villain and hero HQ. Sounds kind of nice. Meps Monday boss spawns. I'm sorry, monstrous Monday boss spawn. Any chance of adding anti-hero as an allegiance? Probably not. I think 2 factions splits people enough. More than that, we want to bring people together. Prysar says just for fun with a new mentor, a new namesake. It's a cool idea, especially if we were able to expand it in some way. Fitz, any chance the annual posters from the past years being offered as a purchase pack on the marketplace? That's something I was going to follow up with. Let me note that. Also, you'd like to see the rogue portraits. Okay, note that too. Proxy Star asks, so yeah, villain hero respect token. No plans right now. We've definitely heard that request frequently. Just haven't been able to pull the trigger and find the time to do it. LQDCO asks for more structural base items like arches, columns, dividers, door frame. Yep, got it. I think that's where a similar request from that is a request every week. Definitely have it on our list. Jelly is suggesting a Green Lantern DLC like the animated. I'm noting all of these storyline suggestions. Jake the Rebel would like more plastic mask style. It'd be fun to have a plastic Mr. Mixelplex. He spilled Mixelpedal. Sally Coco would like base items you can interact with better, and the possibility of having water act like water. And changing the size of base items. Yeah, all these suggestions are great. I'll note them. Proxy says might be a bit far in the future, but do you think there'll be a new Boo this year? I haven't heard anything about Halloween yet. I'm sure we'll do something cool. Any Boo suggestions? Got a lot of Boos already. LQ, I'm noting your Aquaman storyline suggestion. Chairs you can sit in. Yep. Inner asks, can we get a style update on Wave Docs, please? We are working on figuring that out. How about transparent material and skins for Halloween? Like so you can see through? Just like a ghost, I guess? Yeah, that's a cool idea. Transparency can be difficult, but yeah. Timeline asks, how far ahead do you work? How many months in the future are you working on content? Like, are you working on the summer? Well, it depends on the type of content and on the team. So the art team is 6 to 9 months ahead as far as creating the initial environments and NPCs and everything, because the rest of the team needs that done to be able to build everything. But that said, some of the events take less time, or if we're just adding a base item here or there, like that kind of thing, that can be slipped in earlier. So it kind of, we are working on the summer event right now, and we're just wrapping up. We're also, different parts of the team are working on the next episode, as well as the 2 content launches. Fitz says, any new artwork? The currently available paintings are somewhat limited. Oh, you mean like a base item painting? I don't think the screenshot thing is very feasible, but there's definitely opportunity to make more base items that are posters and art and paint. Scorecard boo that does fake damage. Love it. Ice material, I'll note that. Joe says, do you think the last 2 powers will hit before the next seasonal event hits test? I think so. Yeah, we keep hearing suggestions for the Legion of Doom, Uche. It's a very cool storyline, very cool concept. I think we could do a lot. I'll note it. Proxy Star says, are there any things you can share about any changes in membership perks? Nope, nothing planned. I think that would be a big announcement too, not something I would share in office hours. Just... Timeline says, how long after stats revamp will water be out? I'm sick of people asking about it. You realize you're asking about it. I don't have a time frame to give you. It's planned to be the next major task for the systems team after the stats. Lots of storyline suggestions. Crime Syndicate, Gotham City Sirens or Birds of Prey. Love it. New skins with new tattoo patterns. That'd be cool. Let me note that. Jacob the Rebel wants to fight doppelgangers of himself and other NPCs. That's cool. That's cool. Conshit wants to know, is it possible to add pickups on mission scorecards? That seems like something that's worth tracking as a huge contribution to the group. So I'm gonna. LQ is suggesting Teen Titans content, or Trigon content, or Deathstroke content, or Brotherhood of Evil content. Proxy's a jerk. She says, can we get PvP battles in the middle of global alerts? That would be interesting. Jacob the Rebel says, any new maps coming in future content? Yeah, there's new maps coming in all future content. Not necessarily planning new giant cities like Gotham or Metropolis. New maps all day long. Carlin Carnage says, forever evil content would be awesome. Is that a big hit with people? People like to see forever evil. All right, we're going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. Get your questions in now if you got questions. So like Coco says, one sec. That was Ryan. He's glad that you like his video. Our brand manager. So Coco's asking about future powers. Really, nothing beyond water is anything I can. Fitz says, can someone teach the civilians in Gotham Metropolis how to drive? Tired of being pushed half a block out of a fight by out of control. Look, man, it gets scary when people are superheroing it around. What are you going to do? Just drive your car into a post. Jared says, how about content where the heroes come help us, or help you villains? Why we got to always be helping them? Would you let a hero help you, or would that sully your villain name? If a hero helps you, are you still a villain, or do you become a hero by the default? These are questions I think that are worth considering. Like he says, any plans for Watchmen themed content? Nope. Proxy Star, this office hours has been less stressful for him. Uche says, is there a possibility for other undersea tribes from the Aquaman mythology to be in the game? Absolutely. Jacob Rebel wants to drive cars, confiscate the cars from civilians. Carlin Carnage is definitely in for corrupting the hero. Okay. We definitely want to do more cities, more locales, but not like full Gotham Metropolis size. It's just so big. I'd rather visit more places. Will we see a full-blown team up of Lex Luthor and the Joker versus Batman and Superman? It's possible. I'll note it as a suggestion. You guys want to see more of the big players in the DC universe, or do you want to see more of the smaller things? The smaller people maybe we haven't touched yet. What is more mentors or more other people? No news on Superman's hair. NPCs are special and are not good at avoiding obstacles, so they can kind of hit through attacks or through obstacles sometimes. Give a beard style. Oh, that is kind of lacking in the game, isn't it? Again, maybe a male-only style, although I don't know, maybe not. Dwarves and stuff. Are there any dwarves in the DC universe? I'm not sure. City sign base items from Kandor, Milk. More other people, more smaller characters. How about both? Well, I mean, sure, we're always doing both, but all right, folks, thank you for joining today's office hours. I hope I answered some of your questions. If you have questions during the week, hit me up here, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on the forums, or come back next week, next Friday, for the next round of office hours. We do have a update going to the test server today with just a few bug fixes and adjustments for the 3 revamped powers that are up there. Obviously, Starro is alive. Play it this weekend. Have fun. And finish up April Fools as well this weekend because it ends Sunday is the last day. All right, thanks for coming. Bye, everyone.